Hello, everybody, and welcome into another episode of Saturday Morning Makes here on my channel, Greenwood Girl Cards. My name is Jill Norwood, and I am a creative designer and affiliate marketer. And I am coming on to do this wonderful episode of Saturday Morning Makes, which is an open art collaboration on social media throughout the week, every week. A lot of us upload on Saturday mornings or Friday night or sometime on Sunday, and then many people also upload during the week, whatever their day off is, where they find time to craft. So it's an open art collaboration. You can upload at any time, and the hashtag is SatMornMakes, because when I initially started it, Saturday mornings were the main time that I used to take some time or steal some time away from housework and chores to actually do some creating with all of my many supplies. So I invited everyone to play along during COVID, and it has grown into a wonderful community. I've met so many people through this and have made a lot of friendships, and I feel so blessed. And I send my love out to Sue today and to Tom's family. I'm thinking of them because they've just lost someone that they love. So I love this community, and I'm so grateful that you all join in with Saturday Morning Makes, as well as Two Crafters, One Design, which is run by my friend Melissa of Mo Creations, Gloria of Girlia's Cards, Lisa of UCY I'm a Diva, and then there's so many people that play along, Gail and Audrey, and so many of you, when I look at your posts, Lisa and other people will have be using their inspiration and their hashtag. So, and then there's many other hashtags. So many of you do so many wonderful things. There's Christmas hashtags and just all sorts of things throughout YouTube. So, what a joy to be able to spend some time sharing what we create, sharing art, or as I like to call it, heart, sharing our hearts. HE with a capital ART for art. To spell the word heart. So I'm going to jump on today to share mine. And my friend Patty was asking a question the other day about how I get my bows to look so nice. So I thought I would come on and give you guys a couple of tips about bow tying. It doesn't matter what you're using to tie a bow with. Once you get the bow initially tied, you're going to have to kind of what I call zhuzh it up to make it look right. But one of my tips for making a bow look good is that you put your fingers in the loops, or you can just grab the loops in one hand and then grab the tails in the other, and you're going to pull. And by pulling, it sort of sets the bow, and it allows the tails to come down straight and the loops to look straight also. And so that's what I do to set my bow every time. And it doesn't matter what I'm tying. I do the same thing if I'm tying a little piece of jute like this. I go in and I make my bow, and it can be as wonky as you want at the beginning. It's not going to matter. But go ahead and make your bow, get it to the size that you think you want the loops to be, then grab the loops, and I hope I'm in frame here, grab the loops even of this little twine bow and pull tight, and that's going to set the knot for you. And then if you want to make it a little smaller to straighten up the loops, you can pull down on the tails, and it will sort of set your bow for you, and then you can trim the ends to wherever you want them to be to add the sweet little bow to your project. So I made some twine bows tonight for what I'm going to show you, and I just wanted to come on and give you those couple little tips. Anytime you're tying a bow, this will be wrinkled because I already tied it probably, but one other tip, it's always nice to have ribbon that's two-faced, which means it's the same on both sides. Sometimes, like especially velvet ribbon will be single-faced, but you can search for double-faced velvet ribbon if you want. But if it's single-faced, it's a little bit trickier to do. But if you're using a double-faced ribbon that's the same on both sides, it's much easier to tie the bow. But if you're using one that is a single-faced ribbon, you sometimes have to flip the ribbon before you pull it through to make your second loop. But if you're just doing a single-faced, you do not have to necessarily do that. But however you tie your ribbon, if you flip the loop, you tend to get a flatter loop here in the middle. I don't know what you call this part, but the tie part tends to be flatter if you flip the ribbon when you go to tie it. But even if you don't do that, you're going to end up with one side of the bow that looks better than the other, and you can look at both sides and see which one you like, and you just keep fiddling with the bow. And then when you think you have it where you want it, no matter which side you're going to use, you can just pull on it to set that center. And that is what I do. That is my big tip, is to pull on it and set the center. And then once you have it set, you can still make the bow a little bit smaller if you want to, and then just do that again. So I just wanted to show that. Patty was asking how I get my bows to look so flat and nice, and that is my trick, if you will. And then, of course, you do have to fool with them a little bit to just get the two sides even and everything. But you can end up with a bow that actually looks pretty good on both sides. So I just thought I would show those to you. Those are my little bow tips. And if you have any questions, you can leave them down below. Now, there's a million different ways to tie bows. There's also a way where you can wind the ribbon between your fingers. And then I forget, you come around. Let's see, how do I do it? I think you come around and loop it through. I haven't done it this way on camera ever. But you can loop it through and then pull it tight. Let's see if I can do it on camera. It's been a long time. I don't even know if you guys can see this well. But this is another way, and I did a double loop on one side. But basically, if you pull tight and pull through, you can end up with a bow this way also. But I don't have enough to do a double with this particular strand of ribbon. It's a little bit too short, so I should really only do a single. Let's see if I can do this. Anyway, you can do ribbons so many different ways, and you know, it's one of those things where when you have some free time in front of the TV one night, you could just play around with your bow tying skills and see what you can come up with. Nope, that isn't how you do it. I can't remember. Oh, all right. Anyway, there are some wonderful videos out there that show people tying the bows with their fingers. One other way I can tell you that I see a lot of people do too is they make 2 loops and then they tie the loops together in the middle. Okay, so this is one other way I'll show you. But again, I tend to just do it the regular way around my fingers most of the time. But let's see if I can. We'll do it this way. And I'm going to just zhuzh this a little bit more, pull it tight, and then pull it down. Okay? So you end up with a nicely tied bow, and you can fiddle with the tops a little bit, but just by setting this center part by pulling tight, it really helps you get a nice, flat, beautiful presentation on your bows, and you can look at which side of the bow you like the best and use that on your project. So I hope that helps. I could come back and do the double tie one if I get a longer piece of ribbon, and if I look at it again and remember how to do it. But I would say 99% of the time I tie them exactly like I just showed you. I just do the normal bow like you're tying your shoe, and then I just do my trick of setting the center knot and then fiddling with the bow a little bit until it looks right. So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope that helps you, Patty, and anyone else that maybe is curious about tying any sort of bow, whether it's twine or ribbon. And if you want me to do a bigger demo with more ribbons and different things, let me know. But let me dive into the project. So I am doing a promotion for Betty's shop, which is a Ralamija shop on Etsy. Betty, or Beatrice Jennings, is the owner of the shop on Etsy, and she does all sorts of digital printables. And she also sells kits and different art supplies that she's done with. She'll sell through her shop. And she's just wonderful at that. And so you should check out her shop. You can sometimes get really good deals on dies and stamps and different things that she's used and is ready to pass forward to other people. So I love her Etsy shop. I am doing a promotion with her from April 1st to the 30th. You can use my code, which is Jill APR15. So Jill April 15 is what that stands for. But it's all one word, JILLAPR15. And you'll get 15% off all of her brand new listings. And she has a lot of new listings in the shop. She sent me several files to play with. And one of the files that she sent is this one right here. It's the cross stitch dresses. And it's all of these cute little dresses that have cross stitching on them. So I used this one here, and I used this one with the little houses on it. Let me see if I can get in frame here. This one with these little houses on it. And I used this one that has the roses embroidered on it. And there's also two others that I didn't use, but these are because I printed them smaller and I needed the bigger size to do what I was doing. So these are called the cross stitch dresses, and it's one of the files that she sent to me. If you've been with me and my channel for many years, then you have seen me use these same dresses to dress gingerbreads at Christmas time with a Christmas dress file that she has. She has tons of dress files over the years. And I've been shopping with Betty for, 20 years now, I think. Where are we? 2024? At least 15, maybe longer, 15 years. I have so many digitals over the years that I've collected. And I love her little dress files. So be sure to check her shop for those if you've never used them before. They're great for baby cards, little girl cards, and so many other things. And then the other thing that I used, my friend Sam Poole, these are her craft dies for creative expressions. And this is her Rustic Homestead stitched doll die set. Okay, and it's this lovely little stitched doll, and it has a dress, a pinafore, the doll itself, the doll's hair, some buttons, and some hearts. And I shared some projects using this file on an episode of Saturday Morning Makes a couple weeks back. Okay, but I still had this out on my desk. And when Betty sent me this file, I had the idea of actually using the pinafore to cut out these beautiful embroidered dresses. So that is what I did. And I used the doll to, in order to do that. So let me show you. Oh, and then the other items I used, of course, were some twine. This was from Michael's. Some of these little spare parts from Hobby Lobby, these little white rose cabochons. And then I used this beautiful lace that was given to me in a Happy Mail from a friend. And I wish I could remember who gave it to me. So many of you have sent me beautiful things over the years. And then the other thing I did use is some additional papers from Betty's shop, as well as from my stash. And I call these scrap cards. Now, if you were with me all this week, I just did a huge release for design release for my creative time as a creative designer for Emma. And the whole team did so many gorgeous projects. So if you haven't seen those videos, you can go and take a look. The release was Friday morning at 8 a.m. It's actually Friday night right now when I'm filming this video. But the release was this morning, and I just had so much fun. It's just a gorgeous release. It's just so many beautiful products and so many wonderful ideas from the entire team, the Instagram team, the YouTube team, just incredible inspiration. So I hope that you all enjoyed that and that you've had time to shop if there were items that you wanted. The sale continues through Sunday night at midnight, and you'll get 15% off by using one of our affiliate codes. And of course, I've shared my code is Jill, but please spread the love among all the design team members. If you're going to purchase something, please don't just use my code or Emma's code. Please share the love among all the teams and all the team members. They all do such a wonderful job giving inspiration. So anytime I do design work, I always have leftover die cuts that are in this little bin on my table where I create. And I had this die from Sam Poole was still sitting there. I had the idea of making pinafores out of the file that I just showed you from Beatrice and from her Etsy shop. And so I cut out the pinafores using the pinafore die, and I actually cut into the dress to make the pinafores so that the pinafores would have this beautiful embroidery on it. And then I used the dress die portion of the die this part right here is the dress. This is the pinafore. Okay, this is what the pinafore looks like. This is the dress. And I cut the dress out of the portrait papers. All right, hold on just a second. My battery is going to die, so I'm going to really quickly, I'm just going to add a plug in here. All right, there we go. So anyway, you can see the pinafores are using those beautiful dresses. And I also want to try to see if I can size the dresses to the doll so that I could actually put the actual dress. Here, I'll show you. I was playing around with just trying to cut the dress out, but it's a little too big. So I need to size it between the two sizes I already printed. I need to size this down just slightly. And then I think it would also fit on these dolls. So I'm hoping to do that eventually also. But in the meantime, I just used these dresses and I cut that pinafore into the dress so that I could make the dolls have these adorable embroidered pinafores. And then the portrait papers are what I cut the background dress out of. And then everything else you see on these cards, everything else are scraps from my bin where I had all these die cuts that have been sitting in this bin for I don't know how long. All through all my design team work, I always have extra die cuts no matter what, because whenever you're building a card, a lot of times you try stuff and you don't think it looks quite right or it's not the right color, whatever, and you have extra die cuts. So tonight I wanted to use up some of those extra die cuts from my scrap bin. So that these are what I call scrap cards. I had some scrap embossing, I had scrap die cuts, and then I had some extra pieces of the portrait paper after I cut out the dresses. And so that's how I created these cards. I think they turned out so, so cute. And the other item that I used, and I didn't bring it in, but this is also a file from Betty's shop. And it's a set of little definitions. And this one says, sister, a woman or girl in relation to other daughters and sons of her parents. And I just thought this would be a really cute little addition to the inside of the card, and that this would make a sweet birthday card to send to one of my many sisters. So that's the first one, and that one's all in pink. And then this one, I used the dress that has the little houses at the bottom. So her little pinafore has 3 houses across the bottom and 3 little hearts. And I did add a little twine bow to the center of each of the dresses. I used those little spare parts buttons to just decorate around the doll and on her little bow. And I just think these turned out so cute. And again, these are all just scrap die cuts that were leftover from various design team projects where I ended up not using them. And then this definition is heartfelt. It says, sincere, deeply, and strongly felt, one's dearest wish. So I just think these look cute on the inside. And then each of the backs of the cards I decorated. Oh, I didn't do this one. I missed it. But I did decorate the back of a couple of them. And this one says Handmade with Love by Jill Norwood. This is a little circular tag that my friend Susan Laverty made for me. Hi, Susan. Hope you and your family are doing well, my dear. And then these are additional papers from Betty's shop. And then this is a scrap of some gingham paper that is also a digital printable I got many, many years ago on Etsy. And I believe Betty also has some various ginghams in her shop, in her papers. So you can check there for that also. And then the last one is the one that had the embroidered hearts and roses on it. And so her little pinafore turned out so cute. I added the little twine bow. And then this one I used some book paper. I had this little frame cut out and it was in my stash. And I also had some embossing on vellum, and I covered a piece of that portrait paper from Arala Miha's shop with the vellum. Then I added the frame, and then I added an additional little piece just to kind of hold this together and frame it up with the little cabochons. And I just think these all turned out so, so cute. I just love this little doll die from Sam. Sam is over in the UK. If you're watching, Sam, thank you for creating this. I just think this is the sweetest little die set. And I could just make these every single weekend because I have so much fun creating the little outfits for these sweet little dolls. So thank you guys so much for taking a look. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And if you need any additional help with bow tying, you want me to do more, please let me know or ask any questions in the comments below. But I so appreciate all of your support of my channel, especially this week during release week. So many beautiful comments. You guys are all so kind, and what a joy it is for me to design for a community that is just enjoying art along with me. So, and I am so appreciative of Emma for getting to design for her, of Kathy and Dave Jakopovich, who let me design for them, and they are affiliates for meaning that I do earn income from them, from their companies, and I'm very blessed. So thank you guys for supporting their small businesses, which in turn supports me as a designer. I'm very, very thankful, and I just again, so thankful for this community. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you for taking a look today, or for Saturday Morning Makes and Two Crafters, One Design. I hope you all enjoy the weekend and enjoy sharing art with one another. All right. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Share my video if you'd like. All of those things help me and help my family. All right. Bye now.